So I got a joke for y'all. Hey, how did Michael Jackson get his voice so high? His hands was cold. So this one time I went to this Justin Moore concert and I went through the metal detectors and something kept making it go off. I don't know what it was because I had emptied my pockets. But the guy looks at me, he says, "Son, you're going to have to lift up that shirt." I said, "Not till you take me out to dinner first." I do that joke just for y'all. I am not gay. So people tell me all the time, "Hey, you look just like Post Malone. You look like Post Malone. Post Malone. You look like Post Malone." So, it's funny. My brother used to look like Justin Bieber, but not anymore. He looks terrible now. My brother, not Justin. And speaking of my brother, my brother's pants is always falling down. Every time he bends over, his pants fall down. The other day he bent over, his pants fell down, and I started singing, "I see a bad moon rising." So every year in downtown Spartanburg, South Carolina, they have this event called the Melting Pot Music Festival. And one year I went, and I saw a buddy of mine working there, and he walked up to me. He said, "Hey, Dustin, are you here for the music festival?" I looked at him. I said, "No, I'm here for the corn festival." Here's your sign. That was for you, Bill Engvall. In the last episode, I don't know how many of y'all heard this, but in the last episode, my brother said that I had a face for radio. Ha ha ha. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You might have more TikTok followers, but I'm better looking. Alright. So now that I've interviewed two people, I gave you an opportunity the last couple of weeks. I posted a video I believe it was a couple of weeks ago, on multiple social media platforms to give y'all the chance to interview me. Okay. But this episode here is also a Throwback Thursday episode, so we're going to get to that first. Please enjoy these clips that I made a long time ago. Emphasis on long. So I was flipping through the TV the other day when I caught part of this show where this guy was on the phone with tech support because his computer wouldn't turn on. And they said, "Okay, well, just go to our website and it'll help you." He said, "All right, what if I can get my computer to turn on?" That's like being on the phone with a mechanic because your car won't start and them saying, "All right, well, just drive it on down here to the shop and we'll take a look at it." I've been told that a lot of people have been losing their sense of humor. You know what? I got a story that goes great with that. When my brother was a senior in high school, I can't believe I just said that. Well, he wasn't a senior in middle school. Well, anyway, when you become a senior and it's time to take your senior class picture, they make you slip on this coat that makes it look like you're wearing a suit and tie. My brother said to the woman taking his picture, "This looks like something Larry the Cable Guy would wear." She said, "That's not funny, sir." You want to buy some candy? It's Easter egg. It's like, it's Reese cups in the shape of an Easter egg. An egg? Yeah, and the best part about it is, it fell off on the truck when they was delivering it.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah? You like to buy one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to buy some Reese cup eggs?
What's in them?
Chocolate. Peanut butter.
Chocolate and peanut butter?
And the best thing about them is they were shipped from Miami, so they melted.
I guess yeah. I'll take.
Really?
Yeah. Good deal.
Would you like to buy Reese cup eggs? Now a truck ran them over. But would you like to buy one anyway?
Of course. So last night I saw Dirk Bentley perform his hit song "Gone" live on the Opry last night.
But I think he should have sung Sideways, because I feel like that's what the earth is right now. Or maybe he should have sung What Was I Thinking? I feel like all the Biden voters can really relate to that right now. Even they're like, oh boy, this wasn't good. What have we done? But then again, he did sing Drunk on a Plane, so I feel like that song went out to Jin Saki. People who are angry, get a margarita, she says. No offense, Jen, but is that what you do before you go out and talk to the press? Because I got news for you, it ain't working. You're still just as angry as ever. So somebody asked me the other day, hey, do you know what Dumbo is? I said, yeah, that was my nickname in high school. So when my brother and I was younger, my mom bought us this hockey ring, and I said, well, how are we supposed to stand on that? All right, I hope you enjoyed those. Now, let's get to the Q&A. All right, Bob from X. What's a commercial you wish would come back? Oh, that's a good question. I'd have to say, I know he's woke now, but, you know, I'd have to say the Jack in the Box commercials that Brad Paisley used to do. Oh, man, it was funny. I loved it. All right, we got another question here from the same guy on X. Okay, well, I wasn't really allowing but one question per person, but seeing how I didn't really get a lot of questions, I'm going to allow it this time. Have you ever considered doing your show on X? You know, Bob, I'm glad you asked me that. That is a good question. So, yeah, the reason I'm only on Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube is because Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube have a cast button. You know, if these episodes turn out to turn very long, people, you know, they don't like to, you know, look at their phones, you know, for a very long period of time. So they usually, when videos are long, they usually cast it to their TV. X does not have a cast button, and I know you didn't ask me about this one, but neither does Truth Social. Now, don't get me wrong, I love what Elon's doing with X, and I love what Trump and Devin Nunes has done with Truth Social. They're great platforms, but I tell you what, if Elon or Trump or Devin Nunes decides to add a cast button to X or Truth Social, then I would be more than happy to. Then I would definitely consider putting my show also on those platforms. That is a great question. I'm glad you asked it. All right, looks like we got one from Truth Social. There's no name here. It just says Kyle Larson fan. Not a bad driver, by the way. Who is your favorite comedian? Oh, that's a tough question. Who's my favorite comedian? You know, I like a lot of great comedians of different styles, of different personalities, different, you know, ways of doing their routines. And, you know, I may not agree with some of the things they said publicly, but I do think that some of these people I'm about to name here are great comedians. I couldn't narrow it down to a favorite. That is such a good question, though. I like a lot of great comedians, though. You know, Don Knotts was great. Norm Macdonald was great. Rest in peace. I like Tim Allen. I like the blue collar comedians: Ron White, Larry the Cable Guy, Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall. I mentioned him earlier. Jay Leno, David Letterman, Johnny Carson, Greg Gutfeld, of course. Yeah. The Hodge twins, Keith and Michael Hodge, Roseanne Barr, Jimmy Fallon. I used to like George Lopez, but then he made that joke about killing Donald Trump, and then I thought to myself, nope, no thanks. I don't want him. My brother Dylan actually gave me a comment on TikTok. What's your ideas on the one payment system? Okay, so the one payment system, that is a great question. So what is my ideas on converting to the one payment system? So I'm probably going to say something that a lot of people don't like, but so what is my opinion on converting to the one payment system? So I don't want to get rid of cash, and I want to keep. So I don't want to get rid of cash. Okay, I think that checks do have to go. Now I know a lot of y'all probably gonna get triggered or not be happy with the fact that I said that, but it's just the truth. I think checks need to go. I mean, we need to keep cash. We definitely need cash. Without cash, you can't go to a yard sale or a flea market and buy something. So we definitely got to keep cash. Because they don't have a swipey thing. But I do think that checks are an outdated form of payment. I do believe they have to go. Checks to me are they're like DVDs. Do y'all remember DVDs? They were last relevant about 12 years ago. It's just, I've been in this situation way too many times where I have gone to the store, any store, it doesn't matter which one, and I got in line behind somebody that was paying with checks. 9 times out of 10, there's a problem. The machine won't take it. Half the time, it takes 15-20 minutes just to check them out with a check. And I've always said that when you go to the store, you should never really be in a hurry. Now, I can understand, forgetting something that was very important for something you was planning and you had to go back and get it. But it also shouldn't take about 15-20 minutes to check out either. So I got one here from Facebook. Tina West Harris, tell us about your experience auditioning for AGT. So so a lot of people don't know this. Back in 2018, I did audition for America's Got Talent. It was kind of interesting experience. You get to go up and do what you love and whatever act that is, whether that's singing, stand-up comedy, or magician, or whatever it is. And you get to talk to a lot of nice people. You get to meet a lot of nice, talented people. It was a fun experience. It's not something that I brag about. You see how well that went for me. I mean, I have a regular job, so. Wah, wah, wah. But it is an interesting experience. You get to go to a lot of people go to an open call site, which is where they're holding auditions, and they have them in many states around the world every year. And you get to go and do stuff in front of a judge, and if you get picked, you get to do it on the actual stage in California. And I think it's the same. I could be wrong on this. I think it's the same place that they filmed the NBC's The Voice at. So it's pretty cool. I think it's in the same building, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that. But again, it's not something I like to brag about. I should have never have put it on Facebook that I was auditioning. That was a horrible mistake. Alright, so we got another question on Facebook by Claire Sterling Wells. My question is, why doesn't Biden give the anti-Israel protesters a one-way ticket to Gaza so that they can help their people? That is a very good question. Why does he do that? Why does he do anything? He's an idiot, is what he is. He's a freaking idiot. Alright, we got one more question from me, since we didn't really get a lot of questions. What do you believe were the best sitcoms in history? Ooh, thanks, me. That's a good question. There was a lot of great sitcoms throughout history. There was The Big Bang Theory. There was Roseanne. There was Good Times, Jeffersons, Everybody Loves Raymond, the George Lopez Show, the Steve Harvey Show. He had a sitcom. A lot of people don't know that. The Bill Engvall Show. I loved it. He had a sitcom. Home Improvement. I could go on and on. The list goes on. But I think the best sitcoms, the funniest sitcoms for me, I believe, were Sanford and Son and Last Man Standing. There ain't no doubt about it. Red Fox was a hilarious comedian, and he was able to bring that kind of energy and that entertainment to that show. And Last Man Standing, Tim Allen, he's freaking hilarious. Thanks for watching. Remember, you can always catch the Comedian Genius Show on Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. They haven't censored me there yet. Right now, they're actually being fair. Now I'm going to do the Hodge Twins things and go, yeah. I told you I was better looking.